This is Behind the Scenes. I'm Scott Sexsmith. A Barrie couple is beyond thrilled that their beloved dog Hank is home after a week-long adventure. Barrie Today reporter Nikki Cole is here with the story. Nikki, so let's walk through the sequence of events here. The Johnstons, Brien and Lisa, had boarded a plane to Italy for a vacation of a lifetime, land in Rome, only to find out that Hank was missing. Maybe pick the story up from there if you can.
So their house sitter had let Hank out to go to the bathroom, and I guess he got spooked by passersby and decided to go on a week-long adventure. So I remember seeing a Facebook post about how they'd only been there for an hour and they were freaking out. I guess the community all came together, and when the couple landed, they saw the post and immediately were trying to get back to Barrie. It took them a while. They had to get some emergency flights. I think about 3 days later, they were able to get back to Canada. And then, Brien was saying that he maybe slept a few hours a night, slept in a field. And almost exactly a week later, Hank was found hiding under a shed in a backyard not too far from their home.
Wow. So you mentioned the community coming together, and I understand the community played a big role in helping to locate Hank. Can you expand on that a little bit for us?
So after the post was initially shared on Facebook, there's a local group called Positive Ground Search, and they have volunteers. And so all their volunteers came out, and I think there was hundreds of people helping search for Hank. There was a lady that showed up at their house who apparently hadn't left her house in about 6 months. She just said she just felt in her bones how to get there. She took some signs, went to Walmart, and despite kind of being yelled at from staff to stop, she kept handing out the flyers. One of the flyers she handed out was given to a lady who, when she came home, saw Hank on her stoop. So she called the family right away. So it was definitely, the whole it takes a village. And it definitely took almost all of Barrie to bring Hank home.
Crazy story. Now, it sounds like Hank had quite the adventure in the week that he was missing. Several sightings, as you mentioned. Do we have any idea how much ground Hank covered in the 7 days that he was out gallivanting?
Not entirely. I think he stayed within the neighborhood. I mean, he's just a tiny little wiener dog, basically, so he can't have gone that far on those little legs. But, for a dog of that size, I'm sure it seemed like he was quite a distance from home. So from what I gather, he was quite skinny. He'd lost quite a bit of weight. It wasn't the nicest weather that week either. So, he was definitely happy to be home and snuggling with his fellow pup.
Back to Brien and Lisa for a moment, about $26,000 all in. Any talk from the two of them about possibly returning to Rome to fulfill that dream vacation?
I know that they would love to, but as he said, they have to dig themselves out of this hole for a while. They had been planning this trip. It was their dream vacation. But as they said, you can't put a price on family. And with their children grown and out of the house, Hank and his brother are their kids now. So they said they were, they would do it all again. They understand that a lot of people think they're probably a little bonkers. That was a message he sent me afterwards that said we probably look crazy, but I would do it all again. So hopefully one day, once they recover some of the costs of the emergency flights back to Canada.
Well, let's hope that they can make that dream come true. Barrie Today reporter Nikki Cole. Thanks for this, Nikki, and thanks for taking us behind the scenes.